Next coming topic will be of where do the photosynthesis takes place. So you would of course answer in the green leaf. Yes, that too in chloroplast. So based on early leading of the chapter 8, okay. So you'll identify the right photosynthesis that takes place in green leaves of plants. But it does so also in other green parts of the plant. Wherever you say you take the leaves, young petiole, and you have the pedicel, and we have the young stems there, and all the photosynthesis will takes place. So some other parts where do you think the photosynthesis takes place is these parts, wherever the green parts, petiole, and we have the young stem, in all those things the photosynthesis wherever the green parts. You would recollect the previous unit that the mesophyll cells are the very chief, have larger number of chloroplast. Usually the chloroplast are arranged themselves along the walls of mesophyll cells such that they get optimum quantity of incident light. So when do you think that the chloroplast will be aligned with their flat surfaces parallel to the walls? When would they be perpendicular to the incident light? Okay. So during low intensity of light, so the chloroplast are being arranged parallelly. So that's why maximum amount of sunlight is being seen. This we call it as epistrophy. When in the high intensity of light, due to prevent photooxidation, so it will be arranged perpendicularly. This is the reason. So you have studied earlier in chapter 8, within the chloroplast there is membranous system, consists of grana, stroma, lamella, matrix, all those things. There is a clear division of labor within the chloroplast also. If you see here, this is the structure of chloroplast. You can see outer membrane, inner membrane, and we have the periplastidial space and stroma. These are the thylakoids. These are thylakoids are arranged as a stack called grana. This is stroma, lamella, and we have the starch granule, lipid droplet. So all these things. So the light reactions will happen in the grana. The dark reactions will happen in the stroma. The light reactions we call it as photochemical reactions. The dark reaction we call it as carbon reactions. So the membrane systems are responsible for trapping the sunlight and also for the synthesizing of ATP and NADPH. These are the products of light reaction. In stroma, the enzymatic reactions for the synthesis of sugar, which will be turned as starch. The former set of reactions are directly light dependent. So that's why we call it as light reactions or photochemical. The later is indirectly driven by the light. That's why we call it as dark reactions or carbon reactions. So we have that doesn't mean should be occur in dark or they are not light dependent. Let's see how many types of pigments are involved in photosynthesis. Looking at plants, we have ever wondered why and how there are so many shades of green in their leaves. So even in the same plant, if you could see, the leaf pigments will vary. We can test this leaf pigments with paper chromatography. You have to grind the entire leaf and later you have to put the paper in that. Then it will absorb the pigment. So with that you can able to see clearly the various pigments on the paper chromatography. It will separate the leaf pigments. Shows that the color we see in the leaves is not due to single pigment, due to 4 pigments. Chlorophyll A, which is light bluish green color. Chlorophyll B, yellow green. Xanthophylls, yellow. Carotenoids, yellow or yellow to orange. So various roles of the pigments in photosynthesis. Pigments are the substance that has the ability to absorb light in specific wavelengths. Can you guess what is the most abundant plant pigment in the world? Chlorophyll A. So let us study the graphs here for the chlorophyll A pigment to absorb light in different wavelength, which is familiar to the wavelength of spectrum as well as VIBGR. If you could see here,